the book They're a Weird Mob was published in 1958, its author, John O'Grady, writing, of course, under the pseudonym Nino Culotta, produced a best-selling story about how weird Australians were. Our language, slang, our thirst, our quirks, and, of course, our dry sense of humour were all exposed by this Italian journalist, fictional journalist, as weird but wonderfully charismatic. The book was a bestseller, the movie, an absolute smash hit. But today, we're still weird. However, I would say that we are becoming weird in a very different and less attractive way. Have a look at this week, for instance, and it's a good example this week. The most patriotic national sport we have decides it can no longer celebrate Australia Day in some kind of apology to Indigenous people. It's still a stunning betrayal by Cricket Australia, by the way. That's weird. We've got premiers who put up walls to their states because we have a handful of viral infections in this country, against the best federal health advice we can offer. That's weird. And today, one of our greatest sporting heroes of all time, a world legend, Margaret Court, is savaged by all quarters because our Australia Day Council dares to award her an honour for her incredible sporting deeds. Court's crime? She just happens to be a very strict Christian, a pastor with strong views about the sanctity of marriage and sex, based on her interpretation of the Bible. But that's close to criminal. As I say, I'll play you an exclusive excerpt from the interview Margaret did with Sky News this afternoon very shortly. But listen to what Chairman Dan had to say.
I don't believe that she has views that accord with the vast majority of people across our nation that see people, particularly from the LGBTIQ community, as equal and deserving of dignity, respect and safety. I don't believe she shares those views, and I don't believe she should be honoured because of that. You know, I'm quite sick of talking about that person every summer. We finish up having this discussion in one form or another every single summer.
Dan, of course she's in a small minority. That is not the point. But whatever happened to freedom of speech and freedom of religion? Her award is for her sport. Are those 64 Grand Slams no longer in existence? Aren't they part of the record? That's weird. There was a time when Australia Day was a national day of pride, a day when we recognised parts of our past weren't that flattering. But it was only a part of who we have become, not the predominant part. But not anymore. There was a time when Australian states and territories could actually agree on working together under federal leadership. For instance, in the 30s, they all agreed on when to celebrate Australia Day. Imagine them trying to agree on a day to recommend or commemorate anything today. Not anymore. And there was a time when we would hail and hero worship our tennis warriors who performed way above their weight against more fancied international opposition. Their personal opinion and religious beliefs were none of our business, but not anymore. John O'Grady was right about Australians being a weird mob, but he would be shocked and probably disappointed at how weird we have become. These new traits, I'm sorry, they're not charismatic. They're ugly, petty and Marxist. Where's our sense of fairness? The acceptance that others have different beliefs. But that's no worries, at least they're fair income. We need to stop kowtowing to loud and selfish minority groups who demand that their cause is paramount to Australia's. This week has seen some alarming character traits that we need to recognise and dump. Maybe this is what we need to reflect on this coming Australia Day, because every single one of us should thank our lucky stars we were either born or ended up here.